Good evening. Today is Monday, April 28, 2025. I call to order a meeting of the Brockton City Council. Will everyone please rise and join me in honoring our country by saluting our flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Clerk, agenda item number 1, please.
Item 1, we have the appointment of candidate Dante Anderson to the Brockton Fire Department.
Mr. President.
Councilor Farwell.
Mr. President, I move suspension of the rules so that we can act on number 1 this evening.
Councilors, a motion has been made. A motion has been made and properly seconded to act on this matter tonight. All in favor? Anyone opposed? Matter passes. Fire Chief, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. President. Good evening, councilors. Thank you for having me. You know how I feel about nights when we get to appoint people. It's great for the Brockton Fire Department. It's great for the city. Dante Anderson has been a guy who we've almost gotten to on a couple of lists, so I'm happy to see him here tonight before us. We were able to bring him in. We had an unfortunate situation where we had a member in the last class resign, which opened up this position. So Dante is a proud Brockton resident, lifelong Brockton resident, graduate of Southeastern Regional, and we're excited to get him started and moving along in the fire department.
Great. Thank you, Chief. And congratulations, Mr. Anderson. Welcome to the team. Thank you.
Question comes
the question becomes on adoption appointment by roll call vote. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Durancourt?
Yes.
Farwell?
Yes.
Griffin?
Yes.
Minicello?
Yes.
Nicastro?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Texera?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
8 in the affirmative.
The appointment is confirmed.
And I move reconsideration in the hope that it does not prevail.
Second.
Motion was made and properly seconded for reconsideration in the hopes that it does not prevail. All in favor of reconsideration? Those opposed? Reconsideration fails. Congratulations, Mr. Anderson. Councilors, we're going to take a brief recess to further speak with Mr. Anderson. So. Back in session. Mr. Clerk, agenda item number 2, please.
We have the reappointment of Lisa O'Donnell of Brockton, Mass. to the Brockton Public Library Board of Trustees for a 3-year term ending in April 2028.
Refer to Finance.
We have a hearing. We have the petition of David Lynch, DBA Campello Auto Body and Repair of 30 Quincy Street, Brockton, Mass. for a motor vehicle mechanical repair license transfer located at 1114 Montello Street, Brockton, Mass. In City Clerk's office, February 24th, 2025. Hearing assigned for April 28th, 2025. Fire Department has no objections. All paperwork is on file.
Time having arrived, I declare this hearing open. Is the petitioner present? If so, please come forward and give your full name and address to the clerk.
Thank you, Mr. President. Through you to the council, Attorney Jake Creedon, still at 71 Legion Parkway, Brockton.
Good evening,
With me is
Councilor.
David Lynch, and I want to thank the assistant clerk for getting me way up on the agenda on this rather busy agenda. Mr. Clerk, thank you also. I'm here this evening for 2 licenses, both at the same location, which is 1114 Montello Street. Dave has owned that building since 2016. It has been rented out for motor vehicle repair and body shop work. I originally filed a petition in January, but you can't have, as you know, 2 licenses at the same location. So until the other tenant vacated, who's gone his own way, we couldn't get on the agenda. All the inspections have been made, but I can tell you for both licenses, and I know you have to do them separately, but it's the same presentation. The parking spaces, there are 29 there. There's good ingress and egress. Each parking space is 9 by 20. There are 5, probably 6 overhead bays for mechanical work and stuff. All the department heads have been there and inspected. I think there has to be a re-inspection before a certificate of occupancy, but it's been vacant for quite a while now. I'd say 4 or 5 months. And again, David has been with the city civically, does a lot of business for the city and with the city. He has a great reputation. So that's basically the presentation. Motor vehicle repair, and the next petition is a body shop licensed. And that's all regulated by state and local as far as containing noxious fumes and stuff like that. And that has been inspected as recently, David, as this past year, and it's intact. That's basically it. Any questions?
Well, thank you, Attorney Creedon. Is there anyone here else in favor of this petition? Mr. Stanton, good evening. If you could give your name and address to the clerk, please.
Good evening, Matthew Stanton, 160 Traboo Street. I have been to many of these meetings, seen many of these hearings, and I know the council does your due diligence in making sure that, especially repair shops and stuff are pretty strict. You're pretty strict with them, as you should be. I wish this guy behind me here could teach a class. He really should. He should teach a class to these type of businesses, because his businesses are immaculate. He takes pride in the city and his business, himself, and everybody that he deals with. I very much in favor of this.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Stanton.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else? Seeing none, I declare that portion of the hearing closed. Is there anybody here in opposition? Seeing none, I declare that portion of the hearing closed. Councilors, any questions? Councilor Nicastro.
Thank you. Good evening, gentlemen. This is in Ward 4. I'm very familiar with this property. I visited it years ago with Anthony Zioli, may God rest his soul. There are no conditions on this license, is my recollection.
That is
Right?
correct.
Not on either license, that's right. Okay. You know what you're supposed to do, as Mr. Stanton just supported. I support this. I hope everyone else will too. Thank you very much. Good luck. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, councilors. Anyone else? Councilor Minicello.
I'd also support this matter. Mr. Lynch runs a very clean and organized shop. He basically is a great citizen of Brockton, a great friend of Brockton. He lives in Brockton, works in Brockton. He is, if you could do an example of, like Mr. Stanton said, a auto repair business, his would be a model. So I certainly support this, and I'm glad that others will support it as well, and hope that they will.
Thank you, Councilor. Anyone else? Councilor Tavares.
Yes, actually, this is my first time I met him today, actually, right now. But you're doing a tremendous good job, and a lot of people always say that. And then you always, on top things, and your environment is very clean, organized. I totally agree with the guys, support you, and definitely I'm here to support this as well.
Thank you, Councilor. Anyone else? Seeing none, Councilors, the question comes on granting by hand vote. All in favor? Anyone opposed? The petition is granted.
There's 2 licenses, Mr.
right,
President,
so-
so you have to vote on both.
Correct.
Right.
Item 4.
We'll read that right now.
Item 4, we have the petition of David Lynch, DBA Campello Auto Body and Repair of 30 Quincy Street, Brockton, Mass., for a motor vehicle auto body repair license transfer located at 1114 Montello Street, Brockton, Mass., in City Clerk's Office, February 24, 2025. Hearing assigned for April 28, 2025. Fire Department has no objections. All paperwork is on file.
Time having arrived, I declare this hearing open. Attorney Creedon, if you could please just give your name and address.
For the record, Attorney Jake Creedon, 71 Legion Parkway, Brockton. With me is Dave Lynch, the owner of the property since 2016, and who is well-known in the city. Same presentation I made 5 minutes ago.
Right.
It's a perfect location. It's ongoing. I'd hope you'd all approve of the situation.
Thank you, Counsel. Anyone here in favor? Seeing none, I declare this portion of the hearing closed. Anyone here in opposition? Seeing none, I declare that portion of the hearing closed. Councilors, any questions? Councilor Nicastro.
No questions. Good evening, gentlemen. I just want to confirm there are no conditions on the license. Just our ordinances.
That's a good thing,
And of
Counsel.
course,
Thank
state law. Okay, I support
very
this.
much.
Thank you
I
very much.
appreciate
This
that
is
very
in Ward 4. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor.
What I said previously, I repeat again. total favor of this license, and Dave is a great citizen in Brockton and runs a great shop.
Definitely does. Thank you, Counselor. Counselors, the question comes on granting by hand vote. All in favor? Anyone opposed? The petition is granted.
Thank you, members of the City Council.
Thank you, Mr. Lynch, and thank you, Counsel.
Very much, everyone. Very much. I greatly appreciate it.
Right. Enjoy your evening, gentlemen.
Very much.
Item 5, we have the petition of Mass Electric Company, DBA National Grid, and Verizon New England, Inc. to install one JO pole on 750 Pleasant Street, beginning at a point approximately 173 feet west of the center line of the intersection of Troy Street. National Grid petitions to install new sidewalk anchor and new stub pole in order to support pole 87 due to leaning issues. In City Clerk's office, March 13th, 2025. Hearing assigned for April 28th, 2025. All paperwork is on file.
Time having arrived, I declare this hearing open. Is the petitioner present? If so, please come forward and give your name and address to the clerk. Good evening, Mohammed. How are you, sir?
Good evening, guys. Mohammed Jamous, 100 East Ashland Street, Brockton, Massachusetts. So just kind of a quick rundown. This pole on pole 87 on Pleasant Street, it's having leaning issues due to a side tap where it's running electricity down in the street. So we just need to put in another pole with an anchor to kind of just pull it the other way so it doesn't fall over.
Understood. Is there anyone here in favor? Seeing none, I declare this portion of the hearing closed. Is there anyone here in opposition? Again, seeing none, I declare that portion of the hearing closed. Councilors, any questions? Seeing none, councilors, the question comes on granting by hand vote. All in favor? Anyone opposed? The petition is granted.
Item 6, petition of Massachusetts Electric Company, DBA National Grid, and Verizon New England, Inc. to install one JO pole on Carlton Avenue, beginning at a point approximately 5 feet west of the center line of the intersection of Hoover Ave and continuing approximately 50 feet in a northwest direction. National Grid is installing pole 6-84 to guy pole 6 on Carlton Ave. In City Clerk's office, March 14th, 2025. Hearing assigned for April 28th, 2025. All paperwork is on file.
Time having arrived, I declare this hearing open. Is the petitioner present? Please come forward and give your name and address to the clerk.
Mohammed Jamous, 100 East Ashland Street, Brockton, Massachusetts. Kind of similar situation here. Instead, we have a anchor inside of a tree that is not part of the standard anymore for National Grid. So we're taking that out and putting in a pole with that same anchor in it.
Great. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyone here in favor of this petition? Seeing none, I declare that portion of the hearing closed. Anyone here in opposition? Again, seeing none, I declare that portion of the hearing closed. Councilors, any questions? Seeing no questions, councilors, the question comes on the granting by hand vote. All in favor? Anyone opposed? The petition is granted. Thank you, Mohammed. Enjoy your evening. Thank you.
We have a communication from the fire chief informing probationary firefighter Yasmin Estrella has resigned from drill school, requesting to fill his position with candidate Dante Anderson.
Accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the mayor recommending the same.
Accepted and filed.
Communication from the mayor reappointing Lisa O'Donnell of Brockton, Mass. to the Brockton Public Library Board of Trustees for a 3-year term ending in April 2028.
Accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the Director of Planning and Economic Development informing the City Council that the recently passed MBTA Communities Overlay District text has an error that needs to be corrected. The ordinance does not establish a minimum number of off-street on-site parking spaces for new development under this overlay. Subparagraph F should have established a minimum, not a maximum number of spaces. The Director of Planning and Economic Development is requesting that you amend subparagraph F as attached.
Accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the mayor recommending the same.
Accepted and filed.
Communication from the fire chief requesting to accept and expend a total of $13,298.05 from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Executive Office of Public Safety. The fire department intends to use grant funds for our fire safety education program.
Accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the mayor recommending the same.
Accepted and filed.
Communication from the CFO relative to the same.
Accepted and filed.
Communication from the mayor in accordance with the general laws of Massachusetts, Chapter 44, recommending that the City Council authorize the approval of prior year unpaid bills in the amount of $286.16 in order to pay for unpaid invoices from FY24.
Accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the CFO relative to the same.
Accepted and filed.
We have a communication from the Director of Veteran Services requesting to accept and expend an $18 donation from the Shaw's Give Back Where It Counts bag program to the Veteran Services Department for the spring cleaning projects at the Veterans Parks and monuments around the city.
Accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the Mayor recommending the same.
Accepted and filed.
Communication from the CFO relative to the same.
Accepted and filed.
We have a communication from the Mayor in accordance with the general laws of Massachusetts, Chapter 44, recommending that the City Council authorize the adoption of an amendment to Article 3, Division 2, Section 2-137, pertaining to vacation leave.
Accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the CFO relative to the same.
Accepted and filed. Mr. Clerk, before we get to unfinished business, councilors, I'd like to take a quick moment to recognize some members from the Cape Verdean Association ESLO program. They're here to see how our local government works. We just wanted to welcome you to our chamber. It's a pleasure to have you here, and if you could stick around after this, if you had any questions about this process or procedure, we'd be happy to answer any questions you have. But welcome, and thank you for being here. Mr. Clerk.
Item 22, unfinished business. We have an ordinance to establish the immunization revolving fund in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 44, Section 53E and a half, relative to reimbursements and expenditures for the administration of vaccines. Excuse me, in City Council, November 12, 2024, read and referred to the Standing Committee on Ordinance. That report was favorable.
Councilors,
Sorry. This was passed to a third reading by a hand vote. No, it's up.
Thank you. Councilors, the question is on ordination by roll call vote. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Azak.
Yes.
Draincourt.
Councilor,
Will not vote on that.
you abstaining from the vote?
Can't abstain.
You'll have to take, Counselor, can you step out? We don't have abstaining rules.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Farwell.
Yes.
Griffin.
Yes.
Lally.
Yes.
Minicello.
Yes.
Nicastro.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Tavares.
Yes.
Texera.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
10 in the affirmative.
The ordinance is ordained.
Item 23, we have an ordinance amending the ordinance prohibiting camping on public property to amend Section 6, removal process and enforcement, Section 2, definitions, and Section 8, penalty for violations. In City Council, January 13th, 2024, read and referred to the Standing Committee on Ordinance. That report was favorable as amended. Passed to a third reading as amended by a hand vote.
Councilor Griffin.
Mr. President, I'd like to offer an amendment to amend this motion. I'd like to have the clerk read into the record, please.
Madam Clerk, please read the amended language.
Yep, just explaining what the amendment is first for the councilors. With discussions with the Law Department, Section 6 included removal and enforcement, and what the original language has is it provides removal and enforcement to all of the departments, and the Law Department and the Mayor would like to see the enforcement side of it limited to the Police Department and Inspectional Services. So that collective group would still be involved in removing the campsites, including DPW and the Mayor's designee, but for enforcement it would be limited to the Brockton PD and Inspectional Services. So the amendment would read to Section 6, removal process and enforcement. The Department of Inspectional Services, Parks Commission, Department of Public Works, Brockton Fire Department, or their designee, and the Mayor's designee may be present at the time of removal in order to provide resource information, picking up charts, and removing camping materials. The Mayor's designee shall be responsible for maintaining any data and/or records relating to resources and notice provided prior to any removal. The Department of Inspectional Services and the Mayor's designee shall coordinate the removal process. During any notice and/or removal, there shall always be at least 2 representatives or agents of the City of Brockton present. The Brockton Police Department and/or the Department of Inspectional Services shall be responsible for enforcement of this ordinance. So your first vote would be on the amendment.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Just put it on the record, I don't believe we got a second on the motion to amend. Thank you, Councilor Lally, for that second. Councilors, we have a motion to amend that's been properly seconded. All in favor of amendment? Anyone opposed? The matter is amended. Councilors, then the question becomes on ordination as amended by roll call vote. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Azak.
Yes.
Farwell.
Yes.
Griffin.
Yes.
Lally.
Yes.
Minicello.
Yes.
Nicastro.
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Tavares?
Yes.
Texera?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
10 in the affirmative.
The ordinance is ordained as amended. Number
Item 24, ordinance. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Brockton to delete Section 27X, paragraph F, and replace it as follows. F, off-street parking. These parking requirements are applicable to development in the MCMOD. Number of parking spaces. The following minimum numbers of off-street parking spaces shall be permitted by use, either in surface parking or within garages or other structures. Use, multifamily, minimum spaces, 2 spaces per residential dwelling unit. Mixed use, non-residential commercial, 1 space per 300 square feet. See number 4 below.
Refer to ordinance.
Item 25, we have an ordinance amending Article 3, Division 2, Section 2-137, vacation leave. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Brockton as follows. Article 3, Section 2-137, vacation leave is hereby amended by changing the title from vacation leave to vacation leave and personal days. And further, Article 3, Section 2-137, vacation leave is hereby amended by replacing subsection A with the following. Every employee occupying a full-time position, subject to the classification and pay plans, shall be granted 2 weeks vacation with pay and 4 personal days with pay after completion of 90 days in a paid status. Thereafter, every employee shall receive 2 weeks vacation with pay and 4 personal days with pay annually, which shall be granted on the anniversary date of their original hire date. Any employee terminated within the first 90 days of employment shall receive no compensation for vacation leave or personal days granted under this ordinance. And further, Article 3, Section 2-137, vacation leave is hereby amended by adding the following subsection. K, vacation credit for prior experience. Notwithstanding the foregoing, the mayor shall have the authority to credit an employee with all or part of the time that employee served in prior municipal employment or in any other relevant prior employment as determined by the mayor when calculating the number of weeks of vacation leave granted by this ordinance. The authority granted by this section may be exercised annually or permanently, and in the case of employees under the jurisdiction of the City Council, by the City Council, and in no event shall result in any employee receiving vacation leave in excess of the amount of vacation leave granted by this ordinance. And further, Article 3, Section 2-137, vacation leave is hereby amended by adding the following subsection. 1, any personal days unused in the 12 months after they were obtained will not accumulate. Personal days granted pursuant to this ordinance are intended solely as a benefit to promote employee wellness and work-life balance. These personal days shall not be considered wages, compensation, or remuneration for purposes of the Massachusetts Wage Act, as codified in the Mass General Laws, Chapter 149, Section 148. Accordingly, employees shall not be entitled to payment for any unused personal days upon separation from employment or at any other time unless otherwise required by applicable state or federal law.
Councilor Farwell.
Mr. President, this is just something to read into the record for people who watch these proceedings. This does not apply to union employees. This applies to department heads who are appointed by the mayor and confirmed by the City Council, such as the collector treasurer or the director of planning and economic development. So this does not add to any employee benefits covered by a collective bargaining agreement. And I think it's just important for the public to know that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. This matter is referred to ordinance.
Ordered. In compliance with the provisions of the election laws, notice is hereby given that the city preliminary election will be held on Tuesday, September 16th, 2025, and that the city election will be held on Tuesday, November 4th, 2025, in the following designated polling places. Ward 1, Precinct A, Housing Authority Community Room, 70 Holly Street. Ward 1, Precinct B, West Junior High School, 271 West Street. Ward 1, Precinct C, Hancock School, 125 Pearl Street. Ward 1, Precinct D, Hancock School, 125 Pearl Street. Ward 2, Precinct A, Barrett Russell School, 45 Oakdale Street. Ward 2, Precinct B, Manning Towers, 45 Goddard Road. Ward 2, Precinct C, Senior Center, 10 Father Kenny Way. Ward 2, Precinct D, War Memorial Building, 156 West Elm Street. Ward 3, Precinct A, South Junior High School, 105 Keith Avenue. Ward 3, Precinct B, South Junior High School, 105 Keith Ave. Ward 3, Precinct C, John F. Kennedy School, 900 Ash Street. Ward 3, Precinct D, West Side Library, 540 Forest Ave. Ward 4, Precinct A, Gilmore School, 150 Clinton Street. Ward 4, Precinct B, Gilmore School, 150 Clinton Street. Ward 4, Precinct C, Davis Elementary School, 380 Plain Street. Ward 4, Precinct D, Campello High Rise Apartments, 1380 Main Street. Ward 5, Precinct A, East Side Library, 54 Kingman Street. Ward 5, Precinct B, East Junior High School, 464 Center Street. Ward 5, Precinct C, Downey School, 55 Electric Avenue. Ward 5, Precinct D, Caffrey Towers, 755 Crescent Street. Ward 6, Precinct A, Brookfield School, 135 John Drive. Ward 6, Precinct B, Ashfield School Gymnasium, 225 Co Road. Ward 6, Precinct C, Brookfield School, 135 John Drive. Ward 6, Precinct D, Brookfield School, 135 John Drive. Ward 7, Precinct A, North Junior High School, 108 Oak Street. Ward 7, Precinct B, Bel Air Street High Rise, 105 Bel Air Street. Ward 7, Precinct C, Sullivan Towers, 140 Colonel Bell Drive. Ward 7, Precinct D, Raymond School, 125 Oak Street. The polls will be open at 7 a.m. and will be closed at 8 p.m. Said voters will then, in their respective polling places, give in their votes, each on one piece of paper, to the warden for the election of candidates for the following named offices: Mayor, councilors at large, councilors in each ward, and members of the school committee in each ward.
This matter is referred to Finance.
Item 27, ordered that the City Council authorizes the acceptance and expenditure of the total grant funds in the amount of $13,298.05 from the Massachusetts Executive Office of Public Safety to the Brockton Fire Department.
Referred to Finance.
Item 28, ordered in accordance with the general laws of Massachusetts, Chapter 44, recommending the City Council approve the expenditure of $286.16 from the Police Department purchase of services to Tritech Software Systems.
Councilor Texiera.
Mr. President, I want to make a motion to suspend the rule and enact it on this matter tonight.
Second.
A motion has been made to suspend the rules and act on this matter tonight. All in favor? Anyone opposed? The motion is granted.
There's also a motion.
Yeah. Council, I believe there's also a motion to amend. Would you like to make that motion?
I will make a motion to amend.
Second.
And I'll read it.
A motion has been,
I'll read the motion and you can
okay,
receive a
and then-
second.
okay.
So it would be to insert this language at the end, which it says, for payment of unpaid invoices from FY24.
Can I get a second on that motion? Thank you, Councilor O'Lally. A motion has been made to amend this matter. All in favor? Anyone opposed? The order is amended. Councilors, the question is on ordination as amended by roll call vote. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Azak.
Yes.
Darencourt.
Yes.
Farwell.
Yes.
Griffin.
Yes.
Lally.
Yes.
Minicello.
Yes.
Nicastro.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Tavares.
Yes.
Texera.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
11 in the affirmative.
The order is adopted.
Item 29, ordered that the City Council authorizes the acceptance and expenditure of a donation in the amount of $18 from Shaw's Give Back Program to Veteran Services Department.
Councilor Minicello.
Make a motion to suspend the rules in order to vote on this matter this evening.
Motion is made. Oh, can I get a second?
She did.
Oh, I did. Okay, thank you. Motion has been made and properly seconded to act on this matter tonight. All in favor? Anyone opposed? The matter's passed. So, councilors, the question comes on adoption by roll call vote. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Azak.
Yes.
Darencourt.
Yes.
Farwell.
Yes.
Griffin.
Yes.
Lally.
Yes.
Minicello.
Yes.
Nicastro.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Tavares.
Yes.
Texera.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes,
11 in the affirmative.
the order is adopted.
Item 30, resolve, whereas heart disease is the #1 cause of death in the United States and second leading cause of death in Massachusetts, and whereas heart disease, including coronary artery disease, heart failure, and arrhythmias, significantly increases the risk of cardiac arrest, a condition in which the heart suddenly stops beating due to an electrical malfunction, and whereas cardiopulmonary resuscitation, CPR, together with an automated external defibrillator, AED, is the most effective way for bystanders to help someone in cardiac arrest. CPR keeps blood flowing to vital organs, while an AED can restart the heart by restoring its normal rhythm. And whereas, according to the American Heart Association, immediate CPR can double or triple a person's chances of survival after cardiac arrest, yet only about 40% of people who experience an out-of-hospital cardiac arrest receive the immediate help that they need before the professional help arrives. And whereas CPR classes can be taught in just 30 to 45 minutes, making them a quick and accessible way to equip students with life-saving skills. And whereas 41 states have recognized the importance of CPR training by mandating it for high school students, making Massachusetts one of only 9 states that does not require it for high school graduation. And whereas Massachusetts legislators have introduced 5 bills that seek to make CPR and AED training in high schools across the Commonwealth, a requirement in high schools across the Commonwealth. Senate 447, an act providing hands-only CPR training and the use of defibrillators. Senate 456, an act requiring instruction in CPR and the use of defibrillators for high school graduation. House 556, an act providing CPR and AED education for all, aka the CPR and AED Education for All Act. House 572, an act relative to cardiopulmonary resuscitation and automatic defibrillator education in public schools. House 750, an act providing hands-only CPR training and the use of defibrillators. Now therefore be it ordered that the City Council go on record in support of S447, S456, H556, H572, and H750 to ensure high school students receive CPR and AED training, equipping the next generation with life-saving skills. And be it further ordered that the city clerk be and is hereby requested to forward a suitably engrossed copy of this policy order to the Brockton State House delegation on behalf of the entire City Council. And we do have a group of Harvard students that would like to be invited to appear before the council to explain this.
That'd be great. We're looking forward to that. Refer to finance. Mr. Clerk, are there any late files this evening?
I do not have any.
Any late files? Seeing none. That's the end of our agenda, councilors. Do we have anyone who would like to move forward with councilor recognition? Councilor Lally.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just an announcement to the members of the Accounts Committee. We will be meeting this Wednesday at 6 p.m. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor DeCastro.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'll be holding a Ward 4 meeting tomorrow evening at the Davis School on Plain Street, 6:30 until 8. All are welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilors, I'll add briefly, this Saturday, May 3rd, is Keep Brockton Beautiful Day. We'll be meeting over at the Heights Crossing Assisted Living. That's at 30 Christie Drive. Registration begins around 7:30 to 9 o'clock. From there, everyone would go to their designated locations. And then after cleaning at 12 o'clock, we'd ask that everybody return to Heights Crossing for a barbecue and for raffles. So Keep Brockton Beautiful Day is always a fun day of really getting into some of the, some spring cleaning for the city of Brockton. We ask those who are able to please join us. It's always a fun day, and we're looking forward to it. Councilors, as there's no further business before this council, I declare this meeting adjourned.